Today, we're taking you on a journey to Prague, Czech Republic, the city of romance. Starting with the Straub Monastery, we will take a look at Prague Castle, a landmark in Czech Republic, and Charles Bridge, which represents Prague. The Straub Monastery is a great place to start your Prague journey. This is a monastery on a very high ground, and it's a great place to enjoy the beautiful scenery of Prague. The Straub Monastery is also used as a literary museum and a library, which has over 200,000 ancient books and is famous for its antique look and beauty. The Straub Monastery is a tourist destination that represents the Czech well. The monastery itself is not as overwhelming or fancy on a scale compared to other attractions. It's not as solemn as other monasteries either. It's just a place where you can feel a cozy and peaceful atmosphere. Let's move on to the Straub Church and the exhibition hall. The beautiful building in front of you is the church. Under the blue sky, the white and intricate church makes a great photo zone. Right next to the church is the monastery's famous lion statue. Now let's move on to the main places of the Straub Monastery. Passing through this small door, you will see the viewpoints of this monastery. If you look at Prague from here, you will feel more excited and happy about your schedule today. On the left side, you can see the Prague Castle, and next to it, you can enjoy a city view covered with a unique red roof in Eastern Europe. The place you see in front of you is the Bella Vista restaurant, which has a beautiful panoramic view. However, you can also enjoy Prague's wonderful view just below the restaurant. Now, let's leave behind this grand view of Prague and move on towards the Prague Castle. The Czech Prague, which is the beginning of a trip to Eastern Europe, is more romantic compared to other European cities, as well as the beauty of the Middle Ages. If you come down a little from the Straub Monastery, you'll find the Chernin Palace, the foreign ministry building in Prague. It was completed by Count Chernin, former ambassador to Venice in the Habsburg dynasty. It is currently used as a building for the Czech Foreign Ministry. There is a slightly darker looking statue standing in front. Edvard Beneš, the second president of the Czech Republic, surrendered to Germany during World War II to protect the Czech Republic. The side street of the statue of Beneš leads to the Loretto Cathedral, where the beautiful bell sounds are charming. At every hour on the dot, the bell to praise the Virgin Mary rings in the Tower of Loreta, and it's not just a bell, but also a melody, so it's worth listening for. When you enter the cathedral, you will find a small garden in the middle of the cathedral. We highly recommend that you make a pit stop here because the garden is so beautifully decorated. Let's keep moving on to Prague Castle. As you walk slowly down the stone path, you'll see a huge building on the right that'll attract your attention. This is Schwarzenberg Palace. Known as the most expensive building in Prague, it costs more than $3 billion. Schwarzenberg Palace is really full of unique and luxurious decorations, and it's constantly attracting tourists. It is now used as the National Museum of Art. If you look at the patterns on the exterior walls of the building, you can see why this is the most expensive building in Prague. Let's head over to the Prague Castle, which is actually right next to Schwarzenberg Palace. There is a representative statue here that shows how well the Czechs preserved their culture and heritage. It's a statue at the entrance to Prague called the Wrestling Titans, also known as Fighting Giants. And what's unique about it is that it's the Czechs who are underneath it. It was a statue that was made when Austria ruled the Czech Republic, and it's impressive to see that they preserved the humiliating sculptures without removing them after liberation, in the belief that forgotten history will be repeated. Next to Prague is a statue of the first president of the Czech Republic. Inside Prague is St. Vitus Cathedral, a symbol of the Czech Republic. It's been 600 years since its completion, and it's so high that it can't be captured all at once with a camera. If you go inside St. Vitus Cathedral, you'll find yourself in solemnity at an overwhelming scale. The grandeur and solemnity are beyond description. Inside the cathedral, windows are decorated with stained glass techniques. The different colors of the stained glass windows add to the grandeur atmosphere of St. Vitus Cathedral, and beyond that, it also feels sacred. Right next to the cathedral is the office of the President of the Czech Republic. Of course, soldiers and police are guarding it, but it's interesting that there's an office where there are so many tourists and people. Now let's stop by the Prague Starbucks, one of the most scenic Starbuckses in the world. Sitting here on the terrace, Prague boasts a wonderful view that will never happen again. The Eastern European-styled red roofs accent the medieval European feeling. It is time to take a break and chill from the tiredness of your busy itinerary that started early in the morning with an iced Americano. The next attraction after recharging is the Nerudova Street. This road is called the King's Way that leads to Prague Castle. The reason why this place is so popular with only stores and restaurants lined up is because of the decorations on top of the entrance. When there was no home address, it was used as a symbol of the job of the owner instead of the house number. You can have fun walking down the street by looking at keys, hooves, and scissors to guess what kind of store this place used to be. You can also buy tridilnik here, which is traditional Czech funnel cake, which you definitely don't want to just pass by. You might think that Nerudova is just a pretty street, but if you actually go there, you'll spend more time than you'd think. There are so many interesting stores. There are also embassies of Romania and Italy. At the end of the Nerudova Street, there is St. Nicholas's Church, and it is famous for Mozart, who played the organ of the church. The organ that Mozart played is still in the church. We're now moving to Charles Bridge, which is our last schedule of today. Prague has good public transportation facilities such as the metro, bus, and tram, so you don't need to use public transportation much to visit famous places. And for your information, in the event of an accident between a car or a person and the tram is never at fault. This road to Charles Bridge is a good place to shop for souvenirs. The Czech Republic is definitely cheaper than Switzerland and England, so you can eat delicious food and buy souvenirs without any burden. Mini astronomical clocks, magnets, and wooden toys are great, but Manufaktura Cosmetics is a must-buy product in Czech Republic. Among them, Manufaktura's beer shampoo is very popular among Koreans. We've tried it before and it's so fragrant, unlike what we're used to, smelling of beer. If you follow this road, you will see the Charles Bridge, the symbol of Czech. The oldest bridge in Prague is a landmark that represents Prague, and this bridge makes travelers visit at least once. There are many statues on this bridge, but it is said that Saint John of Nepomuk will make your wish come true, so don't forget to make a wish at his statue. One of the must-do things when you travel to Prague is to see the sunrise here. If you look at the sunrise from Charles Bridge, it can be as touching as if you were in a fairy tale. The scene of Prague beyond the Vltava River, looking from above the Charles Bridge, is a scene we really want you to see with your significant other. The city, which feels like a fairy tale, is getting more and more bright by the sun. The reflection of the yellow lights from the Vltava River makes the Charles Bridge and the Prague Castle more beautiful and romantic. Today, we took a tour of Prague, the Czech Republic, to begin our trip to Eastern Europe. Why don't you start your trip to Eastern Europe with Prague, which is more romantic with the Middle Ages?